All right, we're gonna get going here. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Hope your day's going great. It is the Shabbat, so vibing, chilling, doing what I gotta do. Bro, it's funny because it was like it was last week. I'm on FaceTime with one of my boys. It's Shabbat night, Friday night. I'm taking my dog for a walk. I'm just walking. He calls me. We're talking, and he brings up something about forgiveness. He talks about how we have to forgive and how Yahusha teaches us and shows us how we can't have hatred in our heart. And I got mad. I, I, I actually got mad and I got irritated because in my mind, it was too hard to grasp that concept. It was way too hard for me to understand and accept that. I'm like, yo, I told him straight up, this is stiff-necked and having a hardened heart, which is an issue of mine. A lot of times I'll know I have to change things. I'll know I have to do things. I'll know exactly what I need to do. I'll know exactly what I need to change. I'll know what it is Yahuwah wants from me. But my heart and my stiff-neckedness gets in the way of allowing me to do it, which is me. I get in the way of myself. I'm my biggest issue, right? It's a problem of mine. But I just couldn't. I told him straight up, I said, bro, I get it. I'm not disagreeing against you. Whenever we talk, we use verses. Like, I know what you're saying is true. It's from the scriptures. But I was like, I can't do it. I said, bro, I'll be honest. Like, I'll just have it in my heart. Like, hatred, grudges, all these things. And I honestly got mad on that call, right? I got kind of irritated. I got kind of frustrated. So the next day came. I don't remember what happened. I don't know why. I don't remember what happened. But the next day came and I was like high. Like I was high off of this feeling. And this feeling was, I bear no grudges. I hate nobody. There's no one I'm out to get. There's no one I hate. I bear no grudges. And I realized this feeling of being high, like feeling like I just felt so elevated, right? I felt so almost exalted in a sense, not among men or anyone else. I just felt so high, like I felt so good. And I realized it was because when I told myself and accepted that message my brother was trying to tell me the very next day, which is to have no hatred in your heart and bear no grudges, I felt free. And it led me to realize and understand a lot of people that are on the outside or even on the inside that are miserable, that are sad, that are just frustrated, that are bitter, that are mad. It's because they have hatred in their heart. Now, where the hatred comes from, where it's directed towards, I don't know. But it's there in their heart, and that's why they feel the way they feel. A lot of people are mad about the way the world is going. They have hatred in their heart for the president because the president is why they're struggling financially, right? It's Donald Trump, Joe Biden. They're the reason why the economy's so bad. They have hatred in their heart for them. A lot of people who didn't get to live out their dreams, they have hatred in their heart for their kids. They don't even realize it because to them, they're like, man, if I didn't have my kids, if my kid wasn't always busy with all these sports, or if my kid didn't have this sickness or disability, I could have pursued my dream. They have hatred in their heart. They don't even realize it. Their parents, they have hatred in their heart for their parents. Man, if my dad would have just taught me this when I was a kid, if my dad would have never beat my mom growing up, if my dad would have never been an alcoholic, I wouldn't be where I am today, which is struggling with addiction. I wouldn't be where I am today, which is being a piece of, I don't want to cuss, a piece of trash, bro. I wouldn't be this way if it wasn't for my dad. Hatred in your heart. The bitterness comes from hatred. I don't know where it's coming from and who it's directed to, but it's there in your heart. And when I said, man, I bear no grudges, I have no hate, I just felt so free. I felt so good. So enough with the yapping. Let's get to some verses here, right? By the way, when I read these verses, pull up your scriptures. I don't have the fancy technology where I'm going to have it on my screen and all that stuff. I don't know how to do all that, so I'm going to read it off my screen. You pull it up on yours, and we're going to read along, all right? We're going to hit some verses heavy. So, why grudges are unacceptable. Why they are unacceptable. So, let's start with Leviticus 19:17-18. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall surely rebuke your neighbor and not bear sin because of him. You shall not take vengeance nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I'm Yahuwah. That's Yahuwah speaking. He's telling us you should have no hatred in your heart for your brother. You know, it's funny. If we go back to the verse, in the part of the verse where it says, you shall not take vengeance nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. It's like what Yahusha told us. When they asked him, Master, what's the greatest commandment? What should I focus on? I don't remember what the context was. But Yahusha said the two most important commandments, pretty much, from what I remember. He was saying, number one, love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, mind, soul, and might. Love him with everything, with all your heart. But number two, love your neighbor as yourself. The second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. How can you do so when you have hatred in your heart? Think about that. Is there anybody that you hate? Is there anyone in your family, anyone in your life that you bear a grudge against? Okay, now why do you bear that grudge against them? Okay, now what's the benefit of you continuing to bear that grudge? And is there any benefit if you just let it go? And would it be easier to keep the grudge, or would it be easier to let it go? Think about that. And I also want to hit one more part in that verse where it says, you shall surely rebuke your neighbor and not bear sin because of him. You shall surely rebuke your neighbor and not bear sin because of him. What I think the verse is trying to say is, don't bear sin because of your neighbor. If you have an issue with someone and you're mad at someone, don't allow them to cause you to hate them now and do something that will cause you to bear sin because of them. No, don't do that. Don't allow them to take you there. Don't bear sin because of your neighbor. Are you around people that are causing you to do things you know you shouldn't do? And are you sinning inadvertently because the people you're around? Don't allow them to cause you to sin. That's the issue I catch myself in. A lot of times when I'm around certain groups of people, when I'm around certain settings, I don't stand on what I believe in as much as I should have, or I should, or I'm not as overt with my beliefs as I should. That's an issue. I should be standing on all 10, being loud in my belief and what I know is true at all times, regardless of who I'm around, regardless of the setting, and regardless of who I'm with. So next verse, Matthew 5:21-24. You've heard that it was said to these of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be in danger of the judgment. You shall not murder. If you're a murderer, you are in danger of that judgment. But I say to you that whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council. Rakah means like fool, you empty head, you idiot. But whoever says, you fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother and then come and offer your gift. Yahusha is telling us when you're bringing your gift to the altar, just leave it there. Because if you have an issue with your brother, if you guys know you have a problem, go fix that issue and then come back and give your gift on the altar. Because you have hatred in your heart. Yahuwah doesn't want you to have hatred in your heart. Does he want your gift, your offering? Yes. But he doesn't want it until you fix that hatred you have in your heart. Why? Not because it's just what it should be, but also because he wants us to be in unity. He wants us to take care of each other. If we don't take care of each other, who will? The animals won't. My dog won't take care of me. Look, I love my dog. You know what I love about dogs? One day I was driving in the car and I was thinking, my dog was sitting in the backseat. This is when she was really young. She was laying down. And I was like, man, you know what I love about my dog? My dog never talks back to me. She never disrespects me. She can't hate on me. She can't lie to me. She can't really do me wrong. She can't steal from me. She literally can't really do anything bad against me. Like, that's my dog. Like, I love my dog, but she can't do me wrong. Wait, why did I bring that up? Hold on. Therefore, if you gift altar, go your way, first reconcile your brother. Oh, like my dog can't do me wrong. I don't know why I brought that up. My bad. I'm just going to keep going. There was a point I was going to make, but I forgot. So, but first be reconciled with your brother and then come offer your gift. Then come bring. Oh, yeah. And I was like, I love my dog because she just can't do me wrong. With people, it's different. But at the end of the day, my dog can't take care of me. If I need my dog to take care of me, to watch after me, to be with me, she can't really do those things. She's a dog. She can't even eat unless I feed her. She can't go outside and pee and poop unless I take her outside to pee and poop. But when it comes to our brothers, we have to be in unity. We have to be together, because if we don't have each other, who will take care of us? My dog won't, your animal won't, your parrot won't. I mean, your parrots will not, your bird won't, your cat won't. So why is that important? Why is this so important? But Yahuwah said to Samuel, and by what I mean by why is that so important, I'm talking about having no hatred in your heart, like we just read in Matthew 5:21 through 24 and Leviticus 19:17 through 18. Why is it important to not have hatred in your heart? But Yahuwah said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. For Yahuwah does not see as man sees, for man looks at the outward appearance, but Yahuwah looks at the heart. It's one of my favorite verses, because Yahuwah doesn't look at man the way we do. We look at man's outward appearance a lot of the times. Yahuwah looks at the heart. So when you have hatred in your heart, he sees that. And you should not have that. He doesn't want us to have that, especially towards each other. Forgiveness isn't a suggestion, it's an expectation. Matthew 6:14 through 15. I hope you're reading along. I hope you got your verses. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive you your trespasses. You know what's so funny about that verse? Real quick, I just want to bring this up. Two things. Number one, don't just forgive people so your sins can be forgiven, because I don't even think that'll work. I'll be honest, I don't even think that'll work. You might think like, oh yeah, I can play this game. Let me just forgive everyone and mine will be forgiven. No, because like we read earlier, Yahuwah looks at the heart. So if you just said you've forgiven them, but you haven't forgiven them in your heart, he will see that. And you just made it void. Like you didn't do anything. There's no difference. But no one gets done greasy. No one gets done wrong. No one gets like stabbed in the back more than Yahuwah. Yahuwah does everything for us. He takes care. Everything you have is from Yahuwah. I don't care what you think. You might think you're smart. You might think you're like the coolest person, the hardest worker. That's great. You only have what you have because Yahuwah gave it to you, right? Everything you have is from Yahuwah. But how often do we lie towards Yahuwah? And I'm only saying this confidently because I do it. I do Yahuwah wrong all the time. Every day there's things I do I know I shouldn't. Every day there's things I say I know I shouldn't. Like I cuss a lot of the times, and I'm trying to stop cussing. I do things I know I shouldn't do a lot. And I'm disrespecting myself and my temple and what's residing inside of me. If the Ruach of Yahuwah is inside of me, if he's giving me the Ruach inside of me, I'm disrespecting him. And when I'm doing things wrong, I'm disrespecting him as well, either way, because he's given everything to me. I have the life I have because of him. I go to bed fed every night. I have a bed to sleep on. I'm good every single day because of him, but I do wrong towards him every single day. I'm constantly stabbing him in the back. But what does he do? Yahuwah has forgiven me. He's forgiven me so many times, and I pray he continues to do so, but he forgives us. And we can't even forgive our brother for one little thing he's done that we're mad about for no real good reason a lot of the times. Come on. So then what did Yahushua say? So in Matthew 18:21 through 22, then Peter came to him and said, Master, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? That's a great question. Like if my brother keeps sinning against me constantly, how many times should I forgive him? That's a great question. Like I see where Peter's coming from. And Peter says, up to 7 times? Yahushua said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 77 times. Keep forgiving your brother. Don't bear no grudge. He's your brother for a reason. You guys have love for each other. What did Yahushua say? When I think he something was happening, and then they were telling him, oh, your brothers and sisters are waiting for you, his blood brothers and sisters, when Yahushua was here on earth. And he said, my brothers and sisters are those who do the will of my Father in heaven. My brothers, literally, they're my brothers because we're both focused on doing the will of our Father in heaven. So if we're on the same page and we have the same goal, why would I not forgive him? That's stupid. That's silly. That makes no sense. Bear no grudges. I bear no grudges. Forgiven in the hardest circumstances, man. This is really good because we're going to go over some stories right now where people forgave others when I can't even imagine myself doing it in these scenarios. Truthfully speaking, when we go over these stories, imagine yourself trying to forgive the people doing you wrong, considering what they're doing to you and considering what it was you were trying to do for them. You know what is harder? You know it's funny, real quick, before I read these verses. A lot of the times we find it the hardest to forgive someone because we loved them so much. We've done so much for them. We wanted nothing but the best for them. We poured in as much as we could into them, and then they stabbed us in the back. That's when it's the hardest to forgive. That's when the grudges are the heaviest. If I don't know someone and he lies to me, I'm not going to really bear a grudge. I don't care. I don't know him. But you know, when someone you love, when your girlfriend cheats on you, if your boyfriend cheats on you, when your mother or sibling lies to you, when one of your kids steal from you, when one of your best friends lie to you, it hurts the most because they were the closest. You never saw it coming because you never thought it would happen. And that's when we bear the heaviest grudges and we have the deepest hatred for someone, when it's the people closest to us that do us wrong. And think about that as we go through these stories. Genesis 50:15-21. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "Perhaps Joseph will hate us and may actually repay us for all the evil which we did to him." Do you guys remember what they did to Joseph? They sold their brother off for money. He became a captive in Egypt. He was a slave. He didn't know what he was going to do. His brothers, who he loved and thought had his back, sold him off because they were jealous of the love their father had for him and the way, I guess, he was going about it and how he was overt with it. They hated it, which led to them hating him, and they sold him off for some money. And he became a slave. Imagine if your brother sold you off for money and you became a slave and you were separated from your family and the love of your father and the love of your family. How would you feel? Scared. He didn't know where he was going, what was going to happen next, if he was going to be killed, fed, how they were going to treat him. He didn't know. And he was only in that situation because the closest people to him, sold him off. So they sent messengers to Joseph saying, "Before your father died, he commanded, saying, 'Thus you shall say to Joseph, I beg you, please forgive the trespasses of your brothers and their sin, for they did evil to you. Now please forgive the trespasses of the servants of the Alua of your father.' And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. Then his brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, 'Behold, we are your servants. Joseph, you meant evil against me. But as for you, you meant evil. Do not be afraid, for I am in the place of Alua. But as all right, well, turns out two things. Number one, I didn't check my storage, and I ran out of storage, and the video cut out. It died on me while I was going. And the second thing is, I was recording in the wrong quality and definition the entire time. So that's gonna be yeah, that's fun. So we're gonna pick up exactly where we left off. So they sent messengers to Joseph saying, "Before your father died, he commanded, saying, 'Thus you shall say to Joseph, I beg you, please forgive the trespasses of your brothers and their sin, for they did evil to you. Now please forgive the trespasses of the servants of the Alua of your father.' And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. Then his brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, 'Behold, we are your servants.' Joseph said to them, 'Do not be afraid, for am I in the place of Alua? But as for you, you meant evil against me, but Alua meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive. Now therefore do not be afraid. I will provide for you and your little ones.' And he comforted them and spoke kindly to them." Man, there's so much in there. Let's go over a couple things in here. So before your father died, he commanded, saying, 'Thus you shall say to Joseph, I beg you, please forgive the trespasses of your brothers and their sin, for they did evil to you.'" So in the message, um, Jacob told his brothers to send to Joseph. He said, "Please forgive your brothers." And like before he died, there's nothing Jacob wanted more than for his brothers to have been forgiven by Jacob. There's nothing more that he wanted more in his death before he died than for his brothers to forgive each other and come together. He even acknowledged, "For your brothers did evil against you." He literally said, "Let's just say, Joseph, I beg you, please forgive them." Like Jacob said, "I beg you, please forgive them." Why is he doing that? Because he knows, he can understand why he's hurt, why Joseph is hurt. He even acknowledged it. Um, I beg you, please forgive the trespasses of your brothers and their sin. Yaqub acknowledged their sin. And then he said, for they did evil to you. He understands it. But he's telling him, please, there's nothing he wanted more than that. Why do you think Yahuwah commands us or tells us, have no hatred in your heart? Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your brothers. Before you bring your gift to the altar, if you and your brother have an issue, leave your gift at the altar, go fix the issue, and then come back and burn the gift or whatever it is you're going to do. Why? Because just like Yahuwah, our Father, wants almost nothing more than for us to love each other, love your neighbor as yourself, and take care of each other and be one in unity. That's what Yaqub wanted for his sons. There's nothing new under the sun. What else can we break down in here? But as for you, you meant evil against me, but Allah meant it for good in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many. Look at that level of understanding from Joseph. After going through what he went through, everything he went through, everything, his heart wasn't hardened. He released the burden of hatred in his heart, if he even had it at all. He let it go, and he can see all this happened for a reason. It happened for a reason 100%, for the benefit of other people, for the benefit of our people and our family. Look what came out of it. Yahuwah did it for a reason. And then he went on to actually forgive them. What does James 2:24 say? Amunah without works is dead. He not only forgave them, but he took care of them. He provided for them and their kids and all of them. He took care of the whole family. He truly forgave them. He bore no grudges. I bear no grudges. Do you bear grudges? Could you forgive your own people, your own family, if you were Joseph and they did what they did to you for the reason and understanding the reasoning behind why they did it? Could you still forgive them and then take care of them and provide for them? Could you? The next scenario, Acts 7:59-60. This one's about Stephen. And they stoned Stephen as he was calling on Allah and saying, Master Yahusha, receive my rook. Then he knelt down, cried out with a loud voice, Yahuwah, do not charge them with this sin. And when he said this, he fell asleep. Stephen was in the land, trying to preach to the people, trying to teach them. He was trying to teach. I think in the chapter, he's trying to teach them the whole time. And then he gets to a point where he sees how stiff-necked they are and how their ears are closed and they're not listening and they won't receive the message, not because they can't, but because they chose not to the point where he started calling them out on it. And when he started calling them out on it, what did they do? Just like when Yahusha would call them out on it or say things to them that would get them mad, they would pick up stones and try and stone them. They would get frustrated. So what happened? When Stephen started calling them out, they kicked him out the city and they took stones and they stoned him to death. And in his stoning, remember, Stephen was only there because he loved them. He wanted them to change. He wanted their hearts to be opened. He wanted them to receive the message because he knew they haven't. That's why he was there. To the point where he kept trying through all the disrespect. To the point where even after that, he called them out. He's doing all this out of love. And then they kicked him out the city and they picked up stones. They picked up stones and they stoned him to death. They killed a man who was trying to do nothing more but then to help them and save their life. He was trying to save their soul. That's all he was trying to do. But they picked up stones and they killed him. Could you forgive people that did that to you, considering what it was you were trying to do for them? Imagine how hard that would be. And while they were stoning him, what did he say? And they stoned Stephen as he was calling on Allah and saying, Master Yahusha, receive my rook. Then he knelt down and cried out with a loud voice, Yahuwah, do not charge them with this sin. After all that, and while they were doing what they were doing to him, and knowing he was about to die, he said, Yahuwah, please do not charge them with this sin. He had no hatred in his heart. He bore no grudges. Could you do that for your family? Could you do that for other people? Imagine if there was a fire and it was coming. Imagine if a tornado was coming and you left your neighborhood, you don't live there anymore, and you know it's coming to take out that whole neighborhood. And there's 10 people in the neighborhood, and all 10 are your family. 2 are your parents, 2 are your grandparents, the other 6 are kids. And they're all over 18, everyone's grown. and you run back to them and you tell them, guys, a tornado's coming, please, I'm telling you, I just saw 100 people get wiped out. I just saw 100 people die from this tornado. There's a tornado coming. Please, you need to grab all your stuff and go. And their reaction is, what's up? But brother, you're tripping. The weather's fine. There's no tornado coming. We don't see anything coming. Like, we're good. Like, relax. We're okay. And they're like, no, a tornado's coming. Please, you guys have to come. Bro, y'all have to go. We got to get out of here. All right. Bro, you're tripping. You need to stop. Like, relax. There's no tornado coming. Are you going crazy? And then after that, you keep trying. And then you say to them, you know what? You guys don't listen. Your hearts are hardened. Come on, you have to come. Why don't you listen? Why are your hearts so stiff? Why do you close your ears to the message? Why do you always do this whenever I try and help you? That's why you're still in this neighborhood, this bad neighborhood, because I've always tried to, like, every time you receive a message, you ignore it. That's why you're still struggling here. And then you call them out on the truth out of love. You came there out of love, and they get mad, and they say, get out of here. They kick you out the neighborhood. They make sure you get out. They walk you down. And as they kick you out, they bring a hammer, and they kill you. They hammer you to death. You were only there because you knew that they're going to die if they don't receive this message. You knew that tornado's going to wipe them all out if you don't come and let them know. And they didn't listen. What did they do? They kicked you out and they killed you. While you're being hit by that hammer, knowing you're going to die. Considering all that, could you bring yourself to say, Yahuwah, please, do not hold this sin against them? Like Stephen did. What did he say? Do not charge them with this sin. Yahuwah, do not charge them with this sin. Could you bring yourself to do that? They took your life when you went there for one reason and one reason only, because you loved them and you wanted to try and save theirs. Could you have forgiven them in your dying moments? That's tough. And the last scenario we're going to go over, guys, Luke 23 through 34. Yahusha's on the stake. The hour has come. Then Yahusha said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they divided up his garments and cast lots. Yahusha was being persecuted and killed for all of our sins. He did it for us. Yet the people in the crowd were cheering for him to be killed. They were cheering for the crucifixion, and they were cheering for his death. And what did he say in his last moments? Considering everything he was going through was for them, just like Stephen did, he said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And this was before Stephen. This happened before what happened to Stephen happened. And it's funny because, obviously us knowing that Yahusha is Yahuwah in the flesh, he said, forgive them. They know not what they do, considering what they were doing for him, and he was only going through that for them. Guys, that's it for the message, but I just want to leave you with a couple of things. Is there anybody you bear grudges against? Is there anybody you hate? Is there anyone you love and you guys have an issue and you haven't fixed it? Try and fix it. Do everything you can to fix it for two reasons. Number one, because you guys are only mad at each other because you have love for each other. So fix it. But number two, do it for your soul. Do it for Yahuwah. Bear no grudges. Have no hatred in your heart. It'll set you free. It'll make you feel so much better. That's it, guys. Hallelujah. I'm thankful we got to go over this today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, a great week, and a great rest of your life.